Good morning, part 3. Sorry part 2 went so long. I meant to edit out a little bit of it, the hole drilling part especially. But kids got back from town last night. We have drill bits. Just going to drill one hole. I'm not going to go through the drilling the holes on every one of them. Everybody knows how to drill holes. I'm just going to show you how much easier this should cut. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on there. I'm going to come back out last night and get a little more done, but ate supper, kicked back in my recliner. Next thing I know, it was 3:30. So it's now about a quarter till 5. We're going to try to get this project done today. So let's see. See if we can drill a hole with these new bits. Something has went wrong with the annealing, because that brand new fresh bit should have cut that. So we'll get back to that. I may have to re-anneal, but we'll go ahead and do the blade etching next. Alright, I did a blade etching video a while back. I'm going to do this the same way. Just take some fingernail polish. Doesn't have to be pink. This is just what I could get out of the house with when I stole it from one of the girls, either my wife's or my daughter's, I don't know. They hadn't missed it, I guess, so. And that bottle's getting low. I gotta sneak in there one day and see if I can steal some more. Just paint it like that where you're gonna put your mark. This is where the maker's mark goes. I can go to the screen printing place where they make signs and stickers and all that, and I can get some printed, which I may do one day. Just makes it easier. But I like to do as much by actual hand as I can do. Alright, now paint the other ones, let that dry. When it dries a few minutes, I'll show you the next step. While we're waiting for that to dry, we'll go ahead and mix up our etching compound, which is plain old table salt. Been out here and got damp. See if this is gonna work. No exact formula to it, just put a bunch in there. Add some water, plain old water. Mix it up, and that's what we'll use to etch with. That and some Q-tips. So we'll soak those in a few minutes. Very high-tech stuff here. Now I'll see if I can do this without taking too much time. Can y'all see that? Okay. Made me a wooden pencil, just a stick. Sharp edge on it. What we want to do is scratch this polish away. Most of y'all have seen my logo. It's just a W USA. Took a little bit longer for this to dry this morning. We had a cold front roll through last night. Humidity is down. It's real cool outside. Feels good. How about that for a ringtone? That was actually my alarm. I forgot the alarm was set. Set it when we went on me and Master Sergeant Richard went on our camping trip. The last one we went on, and two old military guys, you know, reveille, that's the way you wake up. That's the way it happens. Alright, we're going to take the leads off the battery charger. Put the positive here. Plain old battery charger. Alright, and I like to put it in the vise right here, this little side vise, just to keep that wire from moving around on you. We'll take the negative lead. That's where our Q-tip goes. Make sure you can see this good. Get some of that salt water on there. Now we're going to plug the charger in. Now I'll have to stand back a little bit because that's an electrical deal that I ain't supposed to be too close to. And dip it in there a little bit. It'll take it, see how it's starting to burn it in there? I don't know if you can hear that sizzle or not. You can buy a etch-o-matic, they call them. It's got two leads on it. It's exactly like this, except it's a small little machine. Basically, it's a battery charger. So why buy something that when you got something else that'll work? It's starting to dry out. Put a little bit more salt water on it. And you can research this. There's all kind of stuff. You can use vinegar. Some guys will use acid, where you don't have to have the charger. You just put acid on there, do an acid etch. Just a little bit more and we should be done. Now the more you burn on it, the deeper it'll go. We don't want it all that deep, just enough to where it'll show up. Yeah, that should do it. Unplug the battery charger. Get rid of that. Now we'll get some of my favorite stuff here. Boop off. Well, anything will work. Fingernail polish remover, lacquer thinner. We'll wipe that off of there first. See there, we have an etch. Put it on the sander right quick and clean it up and see a little better. Right there, you see that? Nothing to it. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing on all the rest of them. And after I get done with that, then we'll see if we can deal with this annealing problem. I have had that problem before with the annealing, but it shouldn't have happened this time, but it did. That's another thing about knife making, or making anything. You don't never know what's going to happen. Be back in a minute. Alright, an hour later, got the holes punched in here. Now these, what I wound up having to do, I had to put them in the propane forge, got them real hot, and took a punch and punched a hole in it. In both of the camps. Because I don't understand why that metal didn't get soft enough, but it didn't. Now the swamp tromper, I just bared down on it and finally got those drilled. So they were drilled out. Now we're going to heat treat them. Now the best way to heat treat is in the forge with a fire. But this wind is up big time this morning, even though I'm behind the shed here, behind the shop. You can't might not be able to tell, but it's too. I don't trust strong wind and fire. Just sort of worries me. So we're going to use, if you don't have a forge, you can use this plain old weed burner. You can get these at Harbor Freight too, like 20 bucks. I've had this one for a couple years now. And I got a lighter somewhere. Hang on. Well, I'm having a time this morning. Rigged up a light out here. I hope there's enough light to see. Now, if you don't have a forge, you can use a weed burner. You can use a torch, auction acetylene torch. Or if you got time to do it, you can even use a little torch with a MAP gas. Regular propane won't get hot enough, but MAP gas will. So we're going to get these hot. Right over here, I made a little vessel that's got full of transmission fluid. That's what we're going to dip these in. And I'll try to move the camera when I get that far. What we're looking for is a dull red color or a dull orange. Don't want to get it too hot. do it a few times, you can tell by the color when you're ready. There we go. Now we'll continue on with the rest of them, do them all the same way. Next step will be back in the shop and we'll put them in the tempering oven.